Night of Champions 2025 predictions. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, Night of Champions coming up this weekend. Really, I guess kind of weekend of champions, since Night of Champions isn't really Night of Champions, but that's okay. We're going to enjoy it anyway.
Yeah, we got more championship matches on SmackDown, I think, the night before. And we're going to go over that as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the content to get more people like you in here because we love all of you. Let's get into it. As we just said, SmackDown has just as many championship matches. So we're going to treat this as a Night of Champions weekend of some sorts. Let's get into the SmackDown matches. It's all in Saudi, so we'll count it.
Yeah.
SmackDown, we got some big ones here. We're going to start with the easy one, I think. Giulia is taking on Zelina Vega for the United States Championship. Who's going to win this match?
Yeah, I got Giulia winning this one.
What?
Yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. Zelina's run has not been great by any stretch of the means. They also didn't really include her in any like promo ability stuff for her to really kind of try. So some of it also kind of not her fault. But I'm excited to see Giulia. I'm excited to really see her take that title off her and just kind of elevate that title.
You know what? It's been long enough. I'm just going to say it. They should have never taken the belt off of Chelsea Green. She was an absolute legend in that role, and Giulia still would have been able to take the belt off her down the line. It would have worked out just perfectly as is. Giulia needs to win this match 100%. We don't need it to delay it and get a sequel of it at Evolution or SummerSlam or Saturday Night Main Event or on Raw the next week. It doesn't matter. Giulia should win this match before the bell even rings, honestly. Let's move it on, though. We're going to get through the SmackDown title matches pretty quickly here. Profits are taking on the Wyatt 6 for the Tag Team Championship. What do we think is going to win this one?
Yeah, I got the Wyatts winning this one. Maybe a little bit of a shocker, as I would say that not that long ago, they weren't even featured on TV, right? We were thinking, when are we ever going to get anything? When are we ever going to have them back on TV? I think they're really pushing them hardcore to kind of be like the doom, scary tag team faction over on SmackDown. So really the storyline's always been, hey, all the tag teams are trying to gang up basically on the Wyatt 6. So I think you kind of have to do that. If you don't give them the titles here, it just feels like, what's the point?
Yeah, I kind of agree. At this point, like they've set the storyline up to be everybody against the Wyatts. How do you further that story? Well, you put the belts on the Wyatts, and now everybody has a reason to team up on them other than just like they're the spooky tag team. Now they also have what's ours, right? So you give reason for everybody to want to fight them even more. You give them the belts, and you kind of solidify their position on the roster, a reason for them to exist, kind of like they're champions now, a reason to get them on TV sort of weekly. And the Wyatt 6 has kind of been a here and there thing over the last year and a half. So giving them the belts gives them an opportunity to do something real.
Yeah, hopefully we get some more Howdy stuff off of that.
I agree.
Really nice.
I agree. We need him to be more of a leader in this whole thing. And then the big one. We do have Tiffany Stratton taking on Nia Jackson, a last woman standing match on SmackDown for the title. Who's winning this one?
Yeah, you said the first one was pretty easy. I would say this one's also pretty easy. This one is Tiffany. It's still Tiffy time. I think there's a teased cash in again. I don't think we get the cash in from Naomi, but I think it is teased here. And it's going to be a good match. I'm going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, do we need to run this again? Not really. But the fact that we're doing a last woman standing match is sort of cool because, they do have a long standing rivalry at this point, and they've kind of gone back and forth over like who's really winning the feud, and no more convincing than a last woman standing, right? Being able to put somebody down for 10 seconds kind of cements the feud, cements whatever's next. So Tiffy wins this one. We head to Evolution where we may get the cash in later on, but I do foresee Naomi trying to get involved here, but it's a last woman standing match. Would that make it a triple threat last woman standing match if she puts herself into it? Or
does it take it from a last woman standing to just a single, like a triple threat?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what it would do.
Pin at that point, and then the last woman standing is negated. I don't know.
She'll show up.
See too many questions. Yeah. See, that's why it's not happening.
She'll show up, but no official cash in. So let's move it on though to why we're here. Night of Champions. Some good matches here. Only 2 title matches, but been a Night of Champions match. Whatever. It is what it is. We got a bunch added from Raw this week. Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles got nixed. That's not happening anymore. We got some good matches to take over for them. And let's start with Karrion Kross is on this card. He's getting an opportunity to take on Sami Zayn at Night of Champions. Who's winning this match?
Yeah, that's good to say, right? That just hits the ears really well. You just love hearing that. Yeah, I got Karrion Kross actually winning this match here, which might be surprising. But to me, the story is Sami kind of needs to turn into that bad guy, needs to turn into the bad guy. Now, if it happens during the match, that's kind of the one way I see Sami getting the win. But for me, the whole story of Kross kind of corrupting Sami and getting him to eventually turn into that bad guy and snap, that all goes out the window. If you have Kross lose here, what's the point of the whole build-up? So I got Karrion Kross winning this one. Maybe it's hopium, but give me Kross.
Yeah, you see, I have Sami winning from that exact circumstance. I do see that Sami Zayn does kind of cross the line, and it's going to be one of those things where Karrion Kross has lost the battle, but he's won the war in one way, shape, or form, because Sami's going to come out of this kind of on the darker side of things, right? So throughout the match, I think Karrion's just going to be talking, and eventually Sami's going to have to take it to another level that normal Sami wouldn't be doing. Karrion Kross does lose, but we continue this feud, and Sami maybe has a darker edge to him coming out of it.
Yeah, that's one question that I have, though. If Sami does get the win here, like what would be next for Karrion Kross?
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, like I said, kind of hopium. I hope they don't just put him on just to lose right away, but you know what? It probably will happen.
Yeah, it probably will happen. Karrion Kross, he's on the card, man. Woo! We're living good. It don't matter. It just don't matter. We'll move it on, though, to another match that got added on Monday, non-title match. But this one came at us quick, and it's kind of awesome. I can't wait for it. We got Rhea Ripley taking on Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight at Night of Champions. Who's winning this fight?
Yeah, Saudi street fight, I assume they're going to start calling it. I mean, it does just sounds like something they'd do. Yeah, give me Raquel in this one. I think you got to have Raquel and Rox kind of team up a little bit here. At the end of the day, that sounds kind of crazy to say, and maybe I'm going with the stories too much, and maybe I need to go with the stars, but dang it, if Rhea Ripley just puts Raquel down, and let's say Roxanne runs out, and she puts her down too, well, then she could just take the tag titles by herself. So I think eventually you get the build towards the Nikki Bella, Rhea Ripley team stuff, but at the end of the day, I would like to see Raquel get the win here. It would really kind of legitimize Raquel to me.
Yeah, this is going to be the official start of the Roxanne Perez and Raquel tag team. The great teamwork that they showed on Monday night, which ended up putting Rhea Ripley through the table. I think that continues into this street fight in Saudi. It's going to be great, and I think Raquel is going to get the win. And it's going to be absolutely great because I think that she's starting to look great and starting to get some respect on her name, but I'm with you. I think we parlay this into a Nikki Bella, Rhea Ripley tag team match, probably an evolution for those tag team titles. Rhea can get it there. They can go on with that, but I think Raquel and Roxanne are going to team up and get a big win over Rhea Ripley at Night of Champions.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the story, like I said, it might be one of those things where Rhea must pose, Hogan must pose. It might be one of those things. And you know what? I wouldn't fault them if they did. But at the same time, you'd look at it on the other side and be like, well, all the steam I really just built up for Raquel on Monday just would get the wind taken out of the sails.
The real question is, how many Slim Jim tables are they going to break during this match? At least two? Two Slim Jim tables. Mm-hmm. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Is Rhea going to go through both of them? Or are we going to get a riptide through one and a...
Yeah, Roxanne gets put through one.
Oh, Roxanne gets put through one. That's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah. We'll move it on. A match that we thought was going to end up at SummerSlam, and it still might, but we're getting it Night of Champions. Jacob Fatu is defending his U.S. title against Solo Sikoa. Who do we have winning this one?
Yeah, I think this one has the makings of shenanigans. Yeah. Malarkey and baloney written all over it. I think you got run-ins potentially galore on this one. But go ahead, still give me Jacob Fatu. I think eventually they're going to just run it back at SummerSlam. I think that's going to kind of be the play here. And you kind of got to have something kind of delay it a little bit. They kind of threw this on as like a filler to me, at least. And I think maybe you get a returning Tangaloa. Maybe you get the debut everybody's talking about a little bit to help out Solo potentially. But it's still Jacob Fatu at the end of the day. I'm like, well, just not yet. Just not yet, Solo fans. But one day, he will take that title off Jacob. Just not right now.
Yeah, I got Jacob Fatu winning this one, but I don't have him pinning Solo Sikoa. I have somebody running in and bloodline rules in Jacob Fatu and getting a disqualification. I do think that we get the debut of Hikaru or whatever, however you pronounce the name that we've been waiting on for a while here. We're going to have bloodline rules all over the place. Jacob Fatu is going to kind of get a taste of his own medicine in that, right, from all the work that they used to do with Bloodline 2.0 and him getting Solo the victory. But I do think that this ends with Solo Sikoa getting disqualified. Jacob Fatu carries that belt further into SummerSlam, and we can start talking about whether or not he drops the belt to Solo Sikoa there. But I see no way Jacob Fatu doesn't walk out of Night of Champions still the U.S. champion.
Yeah, I think you probably have something like that happen where Jacob's on his own and Big Jim runs out for the save, so it's 2-on-2, and then that's when you get the returning or new added member. So something like something like that.
I agree. Then we get our Queen and King of the Ring finals matches. Of course, the winners of these two matches get an automatic title match at SummerSlam, 2-night SummerSlam coming up in August. So that's going to be great. We're going to start with the Queen of the Ring final. We got Asuka taking on Jade Cargill, who is walking out Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stray away from it now, right? I got to pick Jade Cargill on this one, even though I think both women would be a good choice here. I don't think you can go wrong with either choice, and I honestly think both women end up getting a title shot out of this anyway. I think Asuka gets one from Io, and I think Jade gets one from Tiffany. Whether or not they win, I mean, you could just really kind of put it next to your name at this point, but they're continuing to push Jade Cargill. Jade has been steadily improving time and time and time again, week after week. So Jade was my pick before, I guess when the brackets came out. I gotta stand on business, as the kids say, and I gotta pick Jade.
You know, the second that I saw that backstage segment on Raw where Asuka and Io locked eyes and they did the belt stare off, I was like, oh my God, please give me that. But at the end of the day, I gotta go with Jade Cargill. It just makes too much sense. And I've bought into the idea of somehow, some way, Naomi getting that title before SummerSlam via cash in at some point. And we walk into SummerSlam with Jade Cargill versus Naomi. So I want that match so much, but I'm with you. Either winner here is great. If Asuka does pull off the upset in one way, shape, or form, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be happy as can be and looking forward to that match at SummerSlam. But if I got to put my money on it, I'm putting it on the Storm, Jade Cargill.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that with the cash in and the SummerSlam, all that stuff. But then I'm like, where does Tiffany go? Like, what happens with her? Maybe they just make it a triple threat. I don't know. Why not? That's kind of the one.
Probably could.
That's one of the fork in the road, the wrench in the plans I've been thinking about a lot lately as well. Tiffany would be kind of just SOL, but.
What do you mean? You just have her fight Nia Jax?
Well,
pencil that right in.
That might be your evolution match.
Forever
again.
feud.
Yeah, might be your evolution match, but it would called de-evolution, you know?
De-evolution. Devolution match. So far, we've only had one difference in our takes this entire time.
And I got to pick Kross. I gotta be with the people.
Yeah.
That's the shtick.
You did. King of the Ring final, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Hell yeah, we're finally getting this match. Who's winning it to go to SummerSlam?
Yeah, this is a hell of a match, right? This could be a WrestleMania main event. This could be a Royal Rumble main event. This could be a Survivor Series. This could be a Backlash. I don't know, anything you want to name, you know? Just that good. This is the one I'm probably most excited for. Well, I can't say that. Actually, you know what? No, I am going to say it. I am most excited for this match. Yeah, I'm picking Cody Rhodes on this one. It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Until he gets kicked off the mountain, I'm going with Cody Rhodes. I think Randy Orton and John Cena, like, yeah, that is awesome. That would be great. But at the end of the day, they want Cody Rhodes versus John Cena again. I don't know from now to the end of the year when you could potentially get Cody back in the spotlight to kind of get that again. So I'm picking Cody Rhodes here. And it says a lot. I think if Randy wins King of the Ring, you got John retaining at SummerSlam. But if Cody wins King of the Ring, I think Cody takes the title off John at SummerSlam.
Yeah, when we started our predictions very early on for the tournament, it felt like Cody Rhodes was the easy and boring answer. But it's obviously reared its face. They want to do Cody Rhodes, John Cena round 2 at SummerSlam, at the first ever 2-day SummerSlam. So I have Cody Rhodes winning this thing. And I'm okay with that because there's a lot of potential storylines from the Cody Rhodes, John Cena stuff. Will Cena turn face afterward, etc., etc. And I think that us ending the Randy Orton, John Cena feud in St. Louis at Backlash was a great bow on that entire thing. That match was so much fun that I feel like we should just leave that, and Randy and John should maybe just be done after that. So while I think Cody Rhodes is kind of the boring answer for King of the Ring, I think at this point, given how it's gone, he's also the right answer at this point.
Yeah, Randy losing back-to-back King of the Ring finals.
Yeah.
Just can't get the job done.
Maybe that's his main story for the rest of his career. Every year he's just number 2. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Cody's the one that has kind of all the different branches, right? Like you could always do Randy at some point again. You could also do the man who's facing John Cena in the main event. You could do CM Punk somewhere, some way, somehow. Like Cody's got so many different potential things out of it. And admittedly, like I want to see Cody versus John in a real match. Damn it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Now we might get, Cardi B might, she's going to be there. So she might come out and cost Cody, but damn it, I want to see a real match.
Cardi goes out there and low blows Cody Rhodes in the main event of the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Book it. It's going to be great. I am interested to see like kind of where Randy Orton goes after that though, because you're right, he would lose 2 in a row. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, what does he come out on SmackDown the next week and do? But he's Randy Orton at this point, man. You know what I mean?
He's Randy Orton, and that draft is not too far away.
Yeah.
Like, I get it's a few months away. So before people are like, well, it's actually really far away. I get that. He's going to have some match at SummerSlam. He's going to win the match at SummerSlam. And then he can just, I mean, if he wants, they can just transfer him to Raw.
Screw it, I guess.
Why not?
The big one. The big one. We are getting John Cena defending his title at Night of Champions versus CM Punk, who's walking out of Night of Champions, the champ.
Yeah, I guess I kind of spoiled my pick with the Cody stuff and the banter about Cody. Yeah, I'm going John Cena on this one. I, at first, was a little upset. Like, why isn't this at a SummerSlam? Or why isn't this at a Survivor Series? Or a Money in the Bank? Or something like that. I've come to terms with, hey, we're getting it. I'm excited. I don't care how we're getting it. We're getting it, right? So I'm going John Cena. I don't think Punk's going to be the one to take it off of him, especially right here. Maybe some way far down the line, you could maybe do that again. But Punk also, I just talked about Cody having a bunch of stories. Punk's got a bunch of stories, and he's got a bunch of unfinished stories. He's got the Cody stuff that he kind of hinted at a little bit. He gets the pipe bomb dropped on him there. He's got Seth Rollins kind of in the background that like he was feuding with, but then was like, I'm going to detour to go fight John. Roman Reigns, are you going to show up to work? I don't know. Maybe not. So I got John Cena retaining here, and John Cena carrying the belt into SummerSlam just feels right. So I'm going John on this one.
Yeah, John Cena has to win this match. He's not dropping a Night of Champions to CM Punk with big old SummerSlam coming up right around the corner and Cody Rhodes looking like he's going to win King of the Ring. It's not going to happen. What I hope happens is I hope John Cena wins. We get some shenanigans happen with maybe Seth Rollins running out there. And maybe that's how Cena ends up winning. You know, it opens up the moment for him to use the good old belt and smack CM Punk in the face or kicking him in the nuts like he's been doing lately. But either way, I hope John Cena gets on that barricade, blows a kiss to CM Punk, just like Punk did in 2011 at Money in the Bank to John Cena. And that's how we end the John Cena CM Punk feud with heel John Cena blowing a kiss and walking out champion. I just feel like that would be the perfect bow on all this stuff, man.
I mean, for as many people that say that they hate the John Cena like heel turn, like you look at the matches at obviously WrestleMania, I will exclude that, but everything since then I think has been executed perfectly.
Phenomenal.
So I'm full trust, full faith that like, hey, they're going to do an amazing job with this.
We going to get a Seth Rollins cash-in attempt here?
No, I think you get another tease. I think you get a tease here. He's got to make some sort of appearance, right? I would think some sort. So I got a tease there. I also have a tease later on down the line at Saturday Night Main Event. So I think he kind of holds on to it a little bit.
Yeah. So either way, John Cena's winning this thing, and we're going to SummerSlam with John Cena main eventing as champion, probably versus Cody Rhodes.
I mean, he kind of has to, right?
Yeah.
It feels like he kind of, if you want the first ever 2-night SummerSlam to feel big, just do that. Just
give us some time, because I'm all on the boat that while John Cena and Cody Rhodes are going to main event SummerSlam this year, my eyes are set on Cody Rhodes, CM Punk are main eventing WrestleMania next year. So Punk's going to have his moment in the big time. So,
yep. And Karrion Kross.
Kross.
You didn't pick him, so maybe not.
Didn't pick him. Anyway, those were our predictions for a Night of Champions and SmackDown. So a big old weekend with a lot of title matches on the line. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, what all your picks are, because we'd love to talk about it in the chat. And then, of course, come watch all this stuff with us on our live stream. SmackDown and Night of Champions will be on youtube.com/COD watching all of it. So come join that. And then for everything else for the podcast, it's at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. We have a link tree in our bio. It shoots you to all of our socials. Go ahead and follow all that. We have a new Reacts channel on TikTok that shows our live reactions to everything. So we'd love for you guys to follow that as well. But we're confident that you'll love all of our wrestling content. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.